My name is Vahid Chitsos, part of Elite Mastermind Group. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know where you're coming in from.
Sure. My name is Pepz. I am an artist from California, but currently I'm in the very cold New York right now.
What the hell are you doing in New York during Christmas time, brother?
My family is from the East Coast, so I came to
All
visit
right.
for Christmas.
That's a legit excuse. That's a legit excuse. Let's dive into it. Think and Go Rich, Napoleon Hill. When did you start? How did you start?
Well, I read the book a few times, maybe within the past 5 years, 3 times. So I read it a few times. I started when I started network marketing a few years ago. And one of my mentors suggested a few books, which was Think and Grow Rich and then Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
That is awesome. So initially, when you started reading the book, what were a couple of things that popped out to you that was important that you'd like to share with us?
I think the biggest thing is definitely imagination, decision making, and then also the mastermind group. I think for me, those 3 things in specific go kind of hand in hand. So with anything that you do, you need to make a decision for it. So whether it's your fitness, your finances, your career, your dreams, you won't do anything unless you make a decision to do so.
I agree with that 100%. So here's my question. Is imagination important for artists and musicians and people that are in creative realm, or is it important for entrepreneurs also too?
I think it's for everybody, honestly. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a parent who lives at home, whether you're an artist, whether you're a realtor, you have to imagine what it is that you want to create for yourself. So me as a singer and as a dancer, my imagination is always, always going. Versus when I'm working on a public speaking opportunity or I'm sitting down and making my goals for 2020, I really want to think of what is the life that I want to live? What is the life that I want to create? Which I think for anybody, whether you're in finance, in accounting, whether you do tax auditing, or even when I was working in human resources, I had this great imagination of what I wanted to do. And thankfully, I was able to really zero in on my dreams and my focus and actually get it done a lot of times.
I agree with that 100%. What are some of the other principles that you're utilizing in your success today?
Definitely persistence. Can't get anywhere in life without being persistent and being consistent in the work that you're doing. I think we see it all the time at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of people that sign up for the gym, and they'll go to the gym maybe for like the first 2 months, and then they start slowing down. Then it's December of next year, and they're still in the same place physically. But there's no real trajectory for success if you're not consistent and persistent in what you're doing. So I would say persistence, and then I would also say faith. You have to have faith in what you're doing, in whatever higher power you believe in. Like, you have to have the faith that there is something better for you. You might have a plan, but you also have to be open to having, grace and higher power helping you out too.
Oh, definitely, for sure. So how do you build persistence? I mean, if you're an artist, if you're a dancer, if you're a musician, I mean, you got to have that because you're going to get a lot of no's initially. Yes. Before there's a big breakthrough where you can get in there. I have so many people, obviously, when you live in LA, you have so many people that are in the film industry. Mm-hmm. and in that industry, sometimes it takes like 10, 15 years. Yeah. Before you get recognized and somebody finds your talent and pulls it out, and now you're on a big show, this. So all of those breaks coming after a long time. It's not, unless you get lucky. If you're lucky, great. But most of the ones that I know that built their career wasn't based on luck. They actually literally went through the work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think to answer your question, building persistence, it's going to take time, for one. Two, you also have to want to do the work. I think there's something to be said about making a decision and also wanting to see it through. Thankfully, my parents raised me to say, whatever you start, you're going to finish, and whatever you're doing, you're going to do well. But I think on the flip side of things, there's certain people who may not have that same upbringing, so building persistence is a challenge. I always say to people that I work with is start small. So let's take fitness, for example. If you've never go to the gym and you want to get fit, then give yourself a challenge of maybe going twice a week. Then it's like, okay, boom, I did twice a week. Maybe next month I'll do 3 times a week. And then you start building up slowly. So I think giving yourself little baby steps to do certain things that you can actually quantifiably see allows you to build persistence. So I think the biggest thing is small steps and then seeing what it is that you're doing. You need to be specific with what you want to do. That way you can actually see it get done versus having this very broad, abstract, general idea of almost nothing. So if you want to get fit and you're saying, oh, I want to get fit, but you don't have a plan, you don't have a gym membership, you don't have a diet, you don't have a personal trainer, just something that allows you to be accountable and keep track of it, allows you to be more persistent versus not having something that's concrete.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, keeping your promises to yourself, I think, is very, very important. If you say you're going to do it twice a week, you should do it twice a week. You know, that by itself builds up your confidence, makes a very, very big difference. So here's my question. If somebody is an artist, a singer, actor, whatever the case might be, why should they read Think and Grow Rich?
Well, that book is kind of like universal for everything, actually. I don't think in the book there's a specific career or field that it's applicable to. I think it gives you a very set of specific principles and rules that you can apply to any, if not all, areas of your life. So as an artist, I think we can all think about people like Jennifer Lopez or Beyonce, or even some newer artists like Selena Gomez. All these artists always credit being consistent, having faith, doing the work, having a great team around them that helps them out. And whether or not they read the book, you can see throughout their success all the principles that are talked about in the book.
I agree with that. So here's my question. What are the two hardest things for you to be an artist? What are the two most difficult parts of being an artist?
I think it varies depending on the type of artist that you are. But I think for all artists, I think one of the things that I've seen, even within myself, is building the discipline to do the work. I think there's many artists who won't write a song because they're not inspired. Or there's many dancers who don't feel like going to dance class because they're tired or because their favorite teacher isn't teaching. I think being disciplined is something that all artists have to actually develop. I think the second thing is also not knowing how to do something is not an excuse to not get it done. Meaning, when I started dancing, I was about 21 years old. So I started very, very, very late compared to other people. But me not knowing how to dance didn't stop me from pursuing dance. So I think many artists also can kind of get a little self-conscious about not knowing how to do something. So they won't seek out the resources. They won't seek out the help. They won't seek out the way to learn what it is that they need to learn at the time. So I think those two things are things that many artists struggle with, which is discipline and expanding your skill set. But those are two things that you can actually develop and resolve.
That is awesome. I mean, I've seen some artists where they put in some hours, man. They work on their craft. And sometimes I look at that and I envy the amount of drive that they got. I'm like, oh my God, if I had that much drive that they got in this. I mean, it's brutal. If you're a dancer, I mean, it takes a toll on your body. This thing is not easy. I mean, some of us, we take it for granted that we're in business, but we're literally not doing anything physical. We're doing a lot of mental activity. We're doing, a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, analyzing, solving problems, dealing with a lot of the business challenges. But at least we're not exerting that pressure on our body. But then as a dancer, you got to do both. You got to do the business side and you got to do the body side. So that is very, very respectful and admirable because it's not easy. I don't know if I could have done it. I really have to be in love with it for sure for me to be able to do all of that stuff. So I give a lot of respect to those people.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So listen, if somebody has not picked up the book, why should they pick it up?
That's a great question. I think what I would ask this person is, Are you satisfied where you are in your life? If not, would you be open to learning something different that may help you get to where you will be satisfied? If you are satisfied, do you want more? Are you open to learning more? I think the biggest thing is whether or not they want to pick up the book. It's whether or not they want to do something more with their lives. I am pretty sure 99.9% of all people will probably say, yes, I want to do more with my life. And if that's you, then you should be open to learning from somebody who's been renowned, who wrote one of the most renowned books that's helped people transform their lives. I think that's the best way to get somebody to pick up the book.
I love it. Listen, thank you so much for being here. Happy holidays. And looking forward for us to do a lot more collaboration when you're back from your holidays. I didn't know actors and I didn't know all the dancers were taking this much break, man. I'm pretty sure you're coming back to work on your craft. No more vacationing, man. Come on, we gotta come back. Anyway, if there's anything when you're back in the state, let us know. We'd definitely love to do some collaboration, because the reason why I say that is because I know there's a lot of artists, a lot of people in that field, especially I want to put it entertainment field, that a lot of them are literally within minutes from being discovered and being recognized and getting what they need, and they just need that extra push. So if you could literally put these contents out there and they could see it, that, hey, you know, Jennifer Lopez, all of these big, you know, celebrities that you and I look up to in manner that they, you know, not for their craft, but just the way they've gone through this process and survived and make it to the top. You know, those things should inspire people not to give up. And if we could have something to do with that, I definitely think that will bring us fulfillment in our lives, that we actually had something to do with somebody else's success.
Yeah, I would love to collaborate in any possible way. I think the biggest thing that's helped my life, and especially my career as an artist, is entrepreneurism. I was so not into the world of personal development until I did a network marketing business that completely changed my life. I learned about finances, about scheduling, about what it takes to develop a great mindset. And those are the things that I've applied to my life as an artist, which unfortunately most people don't get taught. So we can definitely talk about collaborating. I would love to get back to my community and just mix both worlds together.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to it. If I don't see you, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Talk to you soon.
Likewise, take care.
Bye-bye.